Wii Sports was a pack-in title with the Nintendo Wii for most of the systems. It basically was just a gimmick gone too far. The point of it was to show people who got the Wii, like, how it really works, because at the time, motions controls were really unheard of, and even though it was just a basic test to show people, like, what this did, it still managed to completely destroy how people view video games. I want to imagine that things like Oculus really wouldn't be the same without the Wii, because that kind of requires some motion controls with the little handles, or the controllers, I guess. Yeah, but it really wouldn't be fair for Wii Sports to not go over the gameplay, especially when we're comparing it to Wii Sports Resort, which is also a good game. I'm gonna go over like 3 sports, the ones I liked at least, them like practice. I'm not really gonna go over practice, so, For tennis, you can do a single game, a 3-game, or a 5-game for the round of tennis you want to play. And it's very simple. You either press A or you flick the Wii remote up to toss the ball, and then you just whack it to serve it, and then you just swing it any direction you want to. Just to hit the ball to the other side. Fun little thing, once the ball is in peak, if you hit it, you do a power serve, which is really effective for getting out any early opponents. I feel like golf was like that nice little, relaxing kind of one. No one really ever gets too competitive over golf. Like, bowling, that gets pretty competitive, boxing gets really competitive, tennis gets really competitive, then there's just golf. No one cares about golf, and no one plays baseball. There's different levels. You got beginner, intermediate, and then hard. I think that's what the ratings are. Then you got a 9-hole game. 9-hole game is basically just all of them combined. The reason why I think golf is so interesting is because even though it's undoubtedly the most boring of the package, because no one really likes golf, let's be honest, they still managed to put some stuff into it. You got a bunch of different clubs, you got a bunch of different maps for it, and it's just a nice time. And then we also have boxing. Now, boxing is probably like the most complicated of the package. Basically, you use your nunchuck and a Wii remote, and you punch it, the nunchuck, and then the Wii remote, you toss punches. You can do hooks, you can do uppercuts, you can just do a basic jab. Basic jabs are the only thing that's going to render for the game. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, you try to go for an uppercut, you're going to do a jab. You try to go for a hook, you're going to do a jab. So just imagine every time you're going to do a jab, so just be prepared for that. So if you go for a hook, just expect there to be a jab. It's just fair warning. It also had the most notable boss, I guess you can call it, or champion, that's what they call it, champion, which is Matt, which is really good in Wii Sports boxing. There's a little trick you can do where if you keep on moving left or right, it's really hard for them to hit you, and if you get lucky, time will slow down, meaning that you have good enough time to punch them. So the pros for Wii Sports was that it was really basic, really anyone could pick up and play it. There was some random moments where like the motion just really didn't work. One time when I was playing the tennis champions, her teammate went into the bleachers, went into the stands with the audience because she went flying like a sardine. And it also had some little secrets, like the silver boxing gloves you get after beating Matt, or the blue court you get when you, I think, hold 1 while the tennis game is loading. Some cons about it though is it really feels like it needs more people. Other than boxing, there really isn't much, or boxing, golf, and bowling really. There feels like it really needs a lot of people to shine, even just in general, with like, even bowling feels like it needs other people to really shine and find its peak. So Wii Sports Resort used something called a Wii Motion Plus. Basically, it was either an add-on you put into your remote, or it was built into it. And what it did was it made the motion a lot more responsive, so it could read it a lot better. Only downside to this was you needed to kind of like let the, I forgot what it's called, I think it's like a gyroscope. You sit your Wii remote at a flat table, so that way it can get registered again. After that, you're fine, and you only need to do that like every, like, I'd say every 20-ish, 20, 30 minutes. That's how long it was for me. It really wasn't that bad. Fight, which is really good. It's a 3-round standoff where you fight with little plastic swords. So I guess what there are. I really don't know what they're made of. You're trying to knock your opponent into water. Fun little thing about that: if you get to round 3 and you're tied, or no, after round 3 when you're tied, the platform goes to where you're automatically in, like, on the edge and danger zone. So like the platforms fall until it's only the blue center, and then whoever hits each other first instantly wins. And that's really stressful, especially when you're playing with real people who aren't stupid like AI. Basketball's really fun too. 3v3, where, you know, like a little street style kind of thing. There's only one side of the court, you're not moving to the others. So just like one half of the court is yours, and you know, you can dunk it. You can just do a traditional shot. 3 points, 2 points, very basic. Everyone knows how basketball works, so I'm not really gonna go over it. But some of the basic controls for basketball were, you know, flick your remote up to jump, which was either blocking or jumping for shooting the ball, and then you just flick it. You have to hold B to jump too, but like whatever. Flyover was also another great minigame. It was classified under the, I think it was air sports. Basically you're just flying around the WII Island, which is where Wii Sports Resort takes place at, and you're just trying to get little eye markers, which are basically just little tabs so you know the important places about the island. So there was some things that Wii Sports Resort was missing. It didn't have the age test, and it didn't have practice mode either. It also didn't have all the original sports that Wii Sports Resort or Wii Sports had, but it did add some new things. So instead of having a practice mode, each sport has its own little separate, you know, addition. So sword fighting had sword fight, speed duel, and it also had showdown. So pros for Wii Sports Resort: it had more sports, and I feel like it also had better sports. Just, you know, sports like sword fight, basketball, and island flyover. It really kept me into the game longer than you know, tennis or any of those games really did. I feel like you can have fun with Wii Sports Resort just by yourself with things like showdown, which are meant for single player. It just feels like it was a lot more driven for people who wanted to play with friends, but also people who only wanted to play by themselves. And that's where I think Wii Sports Resort really shines. And they also had a lot more secrets than Wii Sports did. So one, in bow and archery, you could shoot these little secret targets around the area you were shooting at. Like how in boxing had silver gloves, sword fight had a purple sword rather than a blue sword you traditionally get. And apparently there's a secret golf course you can get. Some cons about it were it was a little more complex. You know, there was a lot more going on with the buttons rather than just like swinging things around. That made it feel like it was more, you know, it was a lot less casual than Wii Sports. And you also need to stand by a table, because if you don't, you will have one hell of a time with registering that gyroscope. Alright, so after looking at the pros and cons and just the basic gameplay of each game, I really feel like the clear winner of this is just Wii Sports Resort. Not saying that the original Wii Sports was, you know, bad or anything, but it's like comparing the DS to the 3DS. You're basically getting most of what the DS had on the 3DS, plus a little bit more, which I think just in that factor makes it better. I know nostalgia is a big motivator for people like Wii Sports more, but I think in just a general standpoint, Wii Sports Resort is a lot better than Wii Sports. But both of them are good. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.